Hello and welcome, this is the one and only Sugi-kan, and this is my review out of Orcs Must Die Unchained. And this is a game that I actually did a first impressions video back when it was in alpha and then it wasn't actually on Steam yet. And I have to say, comparing now and then between the alpha and this open beta version that I'm reviewing now, there has been some significant improvements since, and I always want to applaud that because you kind of see where the game has come from to what it is now. So one of the things that they have improved a lot is the launcher. The launcher didn't look very good on the alpha. It was very primitive. Well, primitive is not maybe the word. It wasn't the most beautiful thing in the world. It was mediocre. And now it looks really good. And I think a lot of the interface and this visual look of the templates and all type of overlays look a lot better for what they were in alpha. So that's a huge improvement. I also have this recallment that the alpha was somewhat poorly optimized. It could be that I have improved my computer since, but now that I run the game while having recorder OBS on the background while recording the gameplay, I didn't really receive any frame drops. So in my opinion, the game is pretty well optimized in terms of performance. So that seems to be one of the things that has improved since. And let's talk about the game itself now. So Orcs Must Die Unchained is based on the same series, the Orcs Must Die 1 and 2, and I believe they have been like award-winning games. They have been significantly popular as well. I haven't played them really that much myself. I think I own them on Steam account, but I haven't just had the time to play them. I've seen a lot of people play them, however. And they are essentially action tower defense games where you have a bit more elements while being like building tower defense. So in order to explain what the genre is about, essentially you have wave of enemies trying to get to a point A, from point A to point B, and you have to stop them not to get to the goal or base or whatever may be the representation of that you have to protect. So in order to stop them, you have to create obstacles. Usually it's towers. In Orcs Must Die, it's traps, and this is anywhere from spikes or flames or like walls that shoot frost and that type of stuff. And you build defenses. The one thing that makes Orcs Must Die a bit different from the other tower defense, usually you have a character that you use to destroy the enemies, and in Orcs Must Die Unchained you have, I think there's like 14 characters or something, not maybe the biggest pool, and each of them have like few abilities, which are anywhere from AoE to traveling abilities and CC, and these can be used against other players and of course the incoming waves. And Orcs Must Die Unchained has two different modes. You have the classic mode, which is pretty much 5 people playing against bots, and there's essentially a wave system which you have to protect. And then you have the PvP version where you have 2 castles, so 5 versus 5, while you simultaneously build defenses, but you also will be building waves, and you have these deck systems, and the decks involve different type of traps and units have different costs and different powers and tiers, and it's a very interesting system. So there's a lot of like deck building strategy going into it. And of course, like many other MOBAs, well, this is a MOBA hybrid, I would say. It's real like a tower defense with some MOBA elements on it, essentially. Is you have a chest system, so you can get loot and you can buy keys. And of course, you can unlock most of the stuff. I think, I'm not 100% sure about this, but I think you can unlock most of the stuff or everything just by grinding. Oh yeah, you can buy skins, of course. But you can grind all the characters inside the game just by completing games, and you will get like loot after you complete games, and you can like, there's some type of a crafting system also in the game. And I think there has been some mixed reviews about this game because, well, some people like the classic game and they don't like the PvP element, but I mean, you have 2 game modes and you can choose what you want to play. Battlegrounds or 5-player, multiplayer, 5 versus 5, and there doesn't seem to be that many maps inside the game, and the maps are kind of interesting. You have a lot of control points there and there. You have the key points where you can build defenses. You have different, like I think there's like 3 different routes to the main castle. And I think it's a very like there's a lot of strategy elements into this game. It doesn't have a super high learning curve, but I think you have to grind some a bit to get the best decks perhaps in the game and the characters that you want to unlock. I do feel that the ranged character seems a bit more powerful than the melee ones. That is just my observation by playing the game. I could be wrong because I'm not like playing it on high level. But I do think Orcs Must Die Unchained is kind of like a refreshing game in terms of it is somewhat unique concept. This is not something that has been done before, at least on our official game. There might be some Warcraft 3 mods that are very similar to this, but other than that, nothing quite like it. And I do think it's a great game. If you want to play it, I have my referral link on the description, and check it out if you're interested. There's a lot of things to grind, a lot of things to unlock. There's different game modes, and it's a really decent game. Perhaps not for everybody. It kind of requires perhaps to be a bit of a tower defense fan to enjoy it. And as I said, not really high learning curve, so it's an interesting game. It's an enjoyable game. And thanks for watching this review.